All right, guys, so let's go over the Euro USD on the daily chart. It's going to be a quick video, kind of backtracking a little bit about what I've been doing in the last couple of days in terms of finding trading opportunities. And the last trading opportunity that I took, which turned out to be well, but uh, coming up, I see another opportunity potential for the market or the Euro USD to continue higher. And just to go back and replay the last trade I made, I was talking about a wedge, a falling wedge, a small one after we made this big move up, pulled back, and then targeting this short-term median level. You can see these dotted lines here where I expected some resistance. Obviously, we surpassed that, but the trade itself, looking for this level up here, worked out perfectly fine, right? So if I just draw this, this is the last trade that I took and worked out really well. So after that, didn't make a trade. I stood on the sidelines, stayed flat, although this looked like a nice turning point, but I didn't see any other reason to validate going short here or trying to capture this move. I don't see the optimal trading signal, I guess you can say, based on my strategy, right? So that was a nice 200, slightly over 200 pips. Market pulls back, and I'm starting to look for areas of potential small little fluctuations here where I can look for support to resistance or resistance to support with my strategy, which I call dynamic trend lines. And I'll give you an example of that in just a second, and how I'm able to find the levels that I want to go long or go short. So once I saw this level up here, of course, is a resistance level, and I connect it, you can say, to a support zone. Now, again, I always mention this is just by looking at this, you may not understand it. It's very unique. I learned it from a trader many years ago, and to this day, it serves me really well when I see the ideal conditions. But it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of study of chart time to really understand what I'm trying to say. But basically, I connect my resistance zone to my to support zones, or vice versa, right? So what I do is I just take this trend line tool. I use what calls support or resistance trend line tool, and I have it says advanced here, and I make sure I have the magnet tool enabled. So again, I draw from the top. Maybe didn't show. Oh, here we go. To resistance to support. Now I have a potential resistance zone here. Market continues to the downside. And I actually was looking for a long opportunity right over here. And this also goes back to what I was just talking about, finding a resistance to a support zone. So I connected this and I started looking for long positions here. And I did end up going long. The market made a nice push to the upside. Unfortunately, we had a nice, well, not nice, but we had a pullback, which stopped me out and pretty much at break even, right? Once I got long around this level right over here, and the market made, I think it was about a little over 80 pips. The position was doing well. So since it was a pretty strong position, I had a strong conviction on it. I moved my stop to break even, or a little over break even. Maybe it's like 1 or 2 pips. And the market came down here and stopped me out. Now, the reason I was looking for a long opportunity here is because not only do we have a potential support on the trend line, but if we zoom out, you can see the market is slowly, little by little, making trending to the upside. Even though you see a lot of fluctuations, you have this start over here, this big move to the upside, a pullback into that pivotal zone, a run all the way up to this median zone, and another pullback into this long-term median zone. Didn't want to go any further than that. I thought maybe we're gonna find some type of support here. Pushed up, found resistance here, or slightly above resistance, and now it's looking like it could potentially make another floor over here, or another support level to continue and make another wave higher. So I backed out, didn't wait for, I wasn't looking to get into the market again after I got stopped out. But if I double click here and I look below, for those of you that are familiar, what do we see here right off the bat? Okay. I'm a big, a big advocate for the MACD divergences. In my opinion, it's just my opinion and my experience, but the MACD divergences are just an incredibly powerful and unbelievable tool to have and to learn in your arsenal of trading tools. And I mean, there's nothing else for me to say in terms of how much I endorse this method of trading, because once you understand how to utilize it, okay, it's going to give you incredible trading opportunities and give you that confidence to put that trade on and look for the market to go in your direction. Okay. So, disclaimer, it doesn't matter how perfect a trading signal is or trading opportunity is, the market can always make, a sudden move that you don't expect. And that's why we have stop losses in place and we control our risk. Okay. That's common sense. So, you always want to, no matter what trading strategy you're using, and no matter how optimal the opportunity may seem, you always want to have that protection. Just in case the market it does something completely different than you thought it was going to do. But anyway, just to talk about this divergence, or what I call a trend continuation divergence. The reason why I went long here was because we have this low here, and the market's potentially making a slightly low here, assuming it's going to bottom. So we'll go back up here and select the divergence tool. It's a tool I made up, but it kind of keeps things organized so that I can see, distinct, distinguish different trend lines and what their purposes is. So the thick trend lines I have right here, just like that. So I know that when I see a trend line on the thicker side, just like this, it's mostly because there's divergence there. So you have this low here, potential low here, again, because of this trend line showing some support. And then you got the MACD making a slight lower here, which matches up with this. But then the MACD goes to a much much lower low than this level. Okay, so we simply draw that out and say, okay, there's some potential, um, either bullish, I guess you can say, but this is trend continuation, or some people call it hidden divergence. I think mostly if you type in hidden divergence in Google or anywhere else, this is what you're going to get. But I call it trend continuation divergence because basically this signals that the market's going to continue in the direction that it's originally going in. Okay, which in this case would be potentially to the upside. So we'll look at, let me just bring this forward here. So we look at this scenario. Okay, see support, a low on the MACD, and then the MACD making a slightly lower low, price making a low here as well, and potentially a higher low. Okay, so let's move forward, and market starts stabilizing. Now this one's interesting because I actually took a long at 1.1019, which was right here. I can't get it perfectly, but you guys can tell right here at this resistance. Okay, and we made a nice push to the upside. Okay, obviously was in profit for a little bit, but the market moved that back and closed with this huge wick, showing weakness that the bears were pushing this right back down. But the promising thing is that this candle still, regardless of this big wick, the market still ended up green. I always talk about, if you're going to swing trade or whatever type of trading you're doing, in my opinion, it's essential to wait for the daily candle to close, because this is a perfect example. This candle during the morning sessions, right? We're talking in New York Eastern time, market made a nice push. This was a nice, decent push to the upside. But as the day progressed, okay, if you're making an assumption that the market's going to go higher or it's going to stay up here, look what happens. little by little, it just moved all the way back and just gave up all those gains. Now, the good thing is that number one, the candle still ended up green. Okay, the bull still won this candle out, this daily candle close. We've got the MACD showing potential bullish divergence or trend continuation divergence, and so far as of right now, this trend line is holding some support. Okay, so I'm holding my long position here and have my stops in place just in case the market tomorrow during, I believe, CPI numbers, market doesn't like it and pushes all the way to the downside. Okay, so if I move all the way forward or I cancel this replay tool here, this is where we are right now. Okay, so is the market going to go up? We don't know. That's why we have stop losses in place. We can only go by what we're observing here, which we have some things on our side. Like I said, the hidden divergence or the trend continuation divergence on the MACD, and the market's potentially finding some support off of this trend line. And then we'll have to see or wait and see how the market's going to close this week out, which tomorrow being Friday is going to be the last, obviously the last day of the trading week. So that's going to be my analysis right now. I'm leaning towards the bullish side, but of course, always preparing for the market doing something that I do not foresee in my analysis, and therefore have the stop losses in place to control the risk and the losses. But before we close this out, let's take a quick look at the weekly chart. Take a look at the weekly chart here, and it gives you a much better view or look of what the market's trying to do, at least. Again, like I mentioned before, a swift move up, this nice swing, get a pullback, another swing to the upside, and a decent pullback. Got this little choppy move to the upside, and now potentially making another low here for a pullback, and then another run up to the upside. Now, again, don't know if this is going to happen or not, but if we can make another move to the upside, where would I look to target, right? Because I'm talking about swing trading here. Where am I looking to target? Well, if I scroll down and pull all the way back or zoom out, I'm looking for the long term, the next long term median level, which is this dotted line right across here. And that kind of matches up with our resistance over here. If I can draw that, matches up with resistance here and resistance all the way back here. Now there's another level or short-term resistance level all the way up here by 1.1600, which matches up with these levels here. Okay, and it matches up with this level over here. So what would I want to do? Well, let's take this level in between and match it up to this zone. Okay, this area right here over here would be my target, which is about 400, give or take 400, 500 pips away. But that's what I would be looking for if the market continues to trend and make another swing to the upside. All right, so that's going to be it for my analysis. We'll see what happens tomorrow as the CPI numbers are coming out. I believe it's the CPI numbers, but I would have to double check. But anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow. If you're trading the EURUSD and you're following along looking for trading opportunities in terms of swing trading, number one thing for you to do is to mitigate your risk, control your risk, don't over leverage, and use a stop loss. Okay, you'll be able to sleep a lot better at night if you just use a stop loss and let the chips fall where they may. Right, the most we can do in our trading is to give the best analysis that we can, and then go off of that. Basically, hopefully, off of your back tested strategy, whatever strategy that you use, and you have seen it being consistently profitable over time. All right. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. If you would like to get in contact with me, you can head over to internaltrader.com and come over and fill out the newsletter, or you can reach over on the contact form and send me a message directly. If you would like, you can check out also the VIP coaching, which is internaltrader.com/VIP VIP coaching, you can book a free 30-minute call with me by clicking here and simply select a date, and we can get on a free 30-minute Zoom call to see if this program is suitable for you. You can also check out the VIP Master Course, which is not out 100% yet, but you can also input your details here and be notified when the official release is out. Okay, so thanks for viewing and hope to hear from you soon.